Hi, it's Dan with Wednesday Wisdom coming to you from my library with two reminders. Not only do we become the average of the 5 people we associate with the most, but we become better today than we were yesterday and up-level our mindset based on the books we read. Today I want to highlight 4 dear friends of mine, prisoners of war from the Vietnam War, and help us understand the lessons that they teach us that apply to every industry, to every walk of life. Passing of the Night by General Robbie Reisner, the highest ranking officer at the Hanoi Hilton, the Wallow prison, which I've had the opportunity to visit and tour in Hanoi, Vietnam. The second one is Leading with Honor by Lee Ellis, another POW. Beyond Survival by one of my heroes, one of my really good friends, Captain Jerry Coffey, who teaches us that the way he returned with honor to his cell after being brutally tortured, the reason why all of them were able to return with honor to the United States of America is based on faith in God, faith in country, faith in family, and faith in self. But the book I want to highlight specifically today is by Captain Charlie Plumb, I'm No Hero. And what he does in this book is he helps us understand the significance of the core values that every single military man and woman subscribe to and live their lives by. Integrity, service before self, and a commitment to excellence in everything that they do. Charlie Plumb finally was released after 6 years being brutally tortured in solitary confinement at the Hanoi Hilton. He lives in Kansas City, Missouri, and he was reunited with his wife, and they were at a restaurant shortly after he had been released at the end of that war. And this gentleman across the restaurant kept staring at him, and Charlie said he started to feel very uncomfortable, and so he finally looked back to acknowledge him, and this young man, he stood up from his table and walked over to Charlie, and he says, "You're Charlie Plumb, aren't you? Captain Charlie Plumb, aren't you?" And Charlie says, "Well, yeah." He said, "You flew fighter jets off the aircraft carrier Kitty Hawk in the Vietnam War, and you were shot down and captured by the North Vietnamese, the Viet Cong, and held for 6 years in solitary confinement." And Charlie says, "Yes, I am. How did you know that?" And this young man said, "I was the one who packed your parachute." And Charlie Plumb said, "What?" And the guy smiles and with a smirk sticks his hand out and he says, "Looks like it worked." Charlie's eyes filled with tears. And he says, "Oh my gosh, I'm the fighter pilot. I'm the top gunner. The entire aircraft carrier was built for me, and I'm the hero of the war." And Charlie in that moment felt a deep sense of gratitude and overwhelming humility to meet someone who was just a low enlisted gentleman working in the bowels of that ship. No one ever acknowledged him, and most likely every single day for weeks and months on end, no one ever took the time to thank him. And Charlie stood up, gave this young man a hug and said, "Thank you so much. You saved my life. Your parachute worked. Your work was unbelievably important." And now the young man gets tears in his eyes and he says, "Until today, I never realized that what I did mattered." As Charlie Plumb speaks, and that's where we've shared the platform so many times together, he asks all of us, who's packing your chute? And reminds us that we should always acknowledge those who really are not doing anything other than just serving us without any recognition. Will you tip your waiters? Will you pay attention and thank those who work in housekeeping in the hotels in which we stay? But more importantly, Charlie always says, whose chute are you packing? If this message resonates, please share it with everyone. And if you want a good laugh, tune into my new video series on Fridays, found only on Instagram, called Friday Funnies.